Welcome to a new episode of Downtown Now. I'm Dana Schlegenhaft.
And I am Aaron Nolan. Dana, today we have a very cool opportunity to be inside one of our amazing art studios all across our city. There's a lot of them. This is Art on the Square, 17 local artists with hundreds of pieces of unique art.
And it's called Art on the Square because they have art and it's on the Bentonville Square. You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. You got to check it out. But right now, let's get into a new edition of Downtown Now. And once again, welcome to a brand new episode of Downtown Now. Before a life-altering accident, Jeremy McGee was an avid trail runner.
Since then, adaptive mountain biking has not only been his passion, it's also been his career. Brooke Beerhouse hit the trails to find out more.
Hey Brooke, how's it going?
You already got your coffee?
Yes,
Yes.
cheers.
You ready to hit the trails?
Yeah, you want to sit down and chit chat before we ride?
Absolutely, let's do it, yeah. And so how do you describe yourself?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't even know how to describe myself. I do want to say that I'm not a mountain biker.
Wait, what? Because I've teed you up as a mountain biker. Excuse me. Okay, stop it. We're not doing the show.
At heart, I'm a surfer and a trail runner.
Cool.
And my bike is how I get out on the trail now.
Wow.
Because life in a wheelchair is kind of relegated, to pavement and hard surfaces. And that bike is, technically an off-road wheelchair. It's also how I'm gonna, hike and just have a relationship with nature. But it gets me out on the trail and might as well just fully embrace it, throw on the full face, go hit the jumps, I did, my first ride was by myself with my dog at the time.
Oh, nice.
And there was all this excitement and anticipation, but which quickly turned to this stark realization, this reality check of oh, whoa, there's a lot more to this than just jumping in your bike and going. Yeah, I ran into trouble out there on the trail.
Yeah.
And I jumped online doing research, trying to find information on where I could ride safely. And I came up empty-handed. So I called up Trail Forks,
yeah,
the #1 mountain bike trail information resource. And I asked them hey, what do you guys think about, documenting this information so that I can use the app like anybody else, and they're like, let's do it.
Awesome.
So overnight, I, pretty much in my sleep, I came up with this very simplified rating system because, all this information already exists. We don't need to recreate the wheel.
Sure.
All that's already there. All I need to know is one, when I'm traveling alone, where I can ride safely.
Totally.
And then also when I'm with somebody, what's not gonna be too much work for them. So that's the information that I want. And also to identify potential obstacles. So that's all the rating system does is answer the question, do you need rider support or not? The gamut of, the rider spectrum, the adaptive rider spectrum is huge because there's all kinds of factors involved. There's the rider disability, which that is a whole huge thing in itself. And then the rider ability as well,
Sure.
Beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then the equipment as well. There are so many different types of adaptive bikes out there. It's endless and crazy.
Wow.
So you put all that together, and then this rider spectrum is so broad. And then to build a trail that is good for everybody in that spectrum, it's impossible. So to have different levels of adaptive friendly trails is really important to accommodate that full rider spectrum.
Beautiful day in Oz. Of course, I run into you, homie.
Hey, dude.
What's going on?
I'm just out out here working. You know where to find me.
Looking at the spot, huh?
Yeah, looking at this this alt line you guys made for this tree gate.
Yes.
It was pretty tough for me to get through this tree gate. And so with this alt line that you guys built, it lines me up straight with it and I can get right through it, no problem.
Nice.
It's a great adaptation for adaptive riders.
And in fact, riders coming the other way have actually enjoyed this as well, because this being a green trail, it's actually helped just the overall system. So.
I sitting here, I've watched a few kids go through,
Yeah.
and they're all choosing this line now.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. This is great. Nice work.
It's kind of a disservice to just say, we're gonna take these guidelines for an adaptive trail and just do that. These adaptive riders have as many different bikes as we have, and they have different levels of skill. I mean, some of them, like Jeremy, he's a adrenaline junkie. You know, he loves going fast, and you know, and we want these, you know, adaptive riders to have every ability and advantage that we can give them. That lets us know what we need to keep our eyes out for. It's like, let's say if there's one feature, one tree gate that's at the start of a trail, we've just severed that access for all these adaptive riders.
You know, any one of us could end up in the disabled demographic any day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about it, you know, and who knows what can happen. I've almost died 3 times. Deciding what it is we want to do with our lives right now is really important. And then get with your family, get with your friends, come up with a plan to make that happen and start doing the small things every day. No matter whatever it is, swim with the dolphins, learn to play piano, go to Paris, you know, whatever these things are, we need to figure out how to do those now. And it's the journey of doing those small things every day, that's the important part.
All right, Brooke, thanks. Great story. Downtown Bentonville Incorporated puts on numerous events each and every year right outside our doors on the downtown Bentonville Square.
One of them is the Bentonville Farmers Market, and we're actually poised to have a seasonal record year.
Can't wait to hear about this.
Yes, let me tell you a little more.
Okay.
I'm going to show you. This is my view from the market just a few days ago. Back on Saturday, April 8th, market sales topped $90,000. And Aaron, did you know that's $16,000 higher than the previous single market record?
You love that game, did you know? Another market fact for you, total season sales in 2022 topped $1.7 million, and we're poised to beat that in 23.
And beyond Saturday's market, there are more chances to shop healthy and local produce in Bentonville. There's a Thursday market that runs 5 to 8 p.m. from May through September.
And if you would rather shop from the comfort of your home, guess what? We've got you covered. There is a virtual farmers market. Go to our website, downtownbentonville.org.
Cycling, one-wheeling,
Yep.
scooting,
Scooting, that's a fun word.
or walking.
Coming up after the break, you will meet a woman who is challenging you to find a new way to get from point A to point B. Our downtown conversation is next.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.
Welcome back. Last year, Courtney Barrett joined Walmart to lead workplace mobility efforts for the new corporate office. I had to get that title right.
You got to get it right.
I did.
Now it's time for Did You Know?
Okay, let's play.
All right, so what does that mean? Well, it means Courtney's goal is to get you to try biking, scooting, one-wheeling, walking, whatever it takes to get where you're going, just not a car,
Makes sense.
alternative form of movement. And while she's spearheading change in this new role, Courtney is not new to the cycling ecosystem, and she's certainly not new to Bentonville. In fact, I went to high school with her. And I sat down with Courtney in this downtown conversation. You've built a lot of things over the years. You've been a real estate entrepreneur. I know that you started several businesses, including one that I know a lot of people have heard of, Junk Brands, which was located right here in Bentonville. So what is it about building things from the ground up that appealed to you so much?
You know, I think most entrepreneurs probably get their first idea from a personal pain point, when you find yourself saying, man, I wish I had X, or why doesn't this exist today? For me, one of those ideas was really a headband. I needed a headband that would stay on, that would wick sweat, that you could customize, and I couldn't find what I was looking for, so just thought, let's go make it. And I think that's the thrill, is the opportunity that you feel like you can step out and take a risk and try something new. So I think that's a driver for me, is when you either have an opportunity in front of you that maybe right time, right pain point, plus the opportunity to move forward kind of tees you up for taking that risk, trying something new.
I read that you started cycling to work in 2013, which, like, for Bentonville was kind of on the forefront of cycling, and you said you've done it your whole life, but what introduced you to mountain biking and, cycling more than just, a kid going on a joyride in Bentonville?
Yeah, well, so Brooke Austin, way back when, right, rode her brother's bike in 1992. It did not have brakes, fell and broke my arm. But I need a brake. From that point until 99, I didn't really spend a lot of time on a bike, really until 2013-ish, actually. And the reason I got back into biking is in my retail part of my life, we had a company that needed to barter for payment for junk headbands. And we worked out a barter for a couple of bicycles from his store.
Oh, that's funny.
So I rode home with a bicycle, and so did Bo, and started cycling to work because now I had a bicycle as payment for junk headbands.
And then you got to use it because it's
right.
payment.
And it really, I hadn't thought about it in so many years. And it just opened my eyes to the joy of slowing down your commute, of the people that you meet along the way to work. You find yourself in a different route, and without a glass bubble and doors and layers keeping you from interaction, it just kind of breaks down the social barriers of a community when you see someone every day and you get to say hi and you see the same kids or the bus driver, or just a way of building a connection to community that was new for me in that time. So just really fell in love with it. And then also the aspect of mentally what happens in your body when you're moving and your route is kind of retraced. You know where you're going, so you're not having to figure that out, and it allows you to pick a subject off of a shelf in your brain and think about it. And there's something, again, that happens when your endorphins are running and your senses are ignited and you're coming through nature and you're focusing on a topic. I believe it brings out the very best in you, and your best ideas start to happen. So then, once you experience that, then it becomes addicting, right? And you're like, oh man, I want to think about this subject on the way to work and get some really great ideas out of it. So I just kind of fell in love with commuting to work. And then fast forward, Junk Brands was acquired entirely by Outdoor Cap in 2017. And I found myself with time and was looking to learn how to mountain bike. Why? Because I saw all of the mountain bike trails that were being built. And I would literally see people seemingly having the best time of their lives, whooping and hollering.
You get a little FOMO when you're watching them,
That's
right?
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I got FOMO and didn't like the way that felt.
Yep.
So I decided I'm going to show up, I'm going to learn how to mountain bike, and I'm going to show up, here's the game plan, the strategy, I'm going to show up at the All-American Trailhead once a week, every Tuesday morning, and I'm going to ride the same trail. And if I see another female rider, I'm going to introduce myself and say, can we ride together? And if you're really good, I'm going to follow you. And if this is months later, then you can follow me.
That's so within your personality that I know that you will stop someone and say, we are now friends.
Yeah.
And we are riding
Let's ride together. And what I found was that women were saying yes. They wanted to ride together. And most of the women on the trail were brand new, just like me. And it was just kind of, again, right time, right place. There were enough other women wanting to learn how to ride that a group of us just started riding together, and those friendships were formed, and we brought on more women, and fast forward.
Women of Oz.
Yes, a part of the Women of Oz story.
Yes.
There were many women doing wonderful things in women's mountain biking, and my portion of that story is the Tuesday ride. Unintentionally, did not plan necessarily to go and start a women's mountain bike organization, but I think it just was the right time, right place. Trails were here, women wanted to ride.
Connecting,
So plug
all
and
the
play.
pieces.
Right.
All right, so we want to talk about joining Walmart. April of this year, you became the Director of Workplace Mobility, and your role is to lead mobility efforts for the new corporate campus, which is going up right down the street. And I read that a goal of theirs is to have 10% of Bentonville-based associates biking, scootering, or using active transportation by the time that campus opens. So I want to know
That's right, Dana.
I want to know about that role.
Yeah, this was another one of those opportunities where your passion, your interest, your skill set just all plays together nicely. It's one part community connector, one part helping Walmart meet its goals, another part being an entrepreneur inside Walmart. So really excited about this role. It's an opportunity to do something very transformative in this community and for the thousands of associates that are here. With a real estate background, couldn't be more excited than to get to be in the know on this new 350-acre epic campus, getting to work with the stakeholders in the community on building the trails that go straight through campus and connect. But really what the role is about, you said it, there's a goal, 10% of home office-based associates to commute via alternate mobility by the time the new home office opens. And what that really is about is human behavior, right? Most of us in and outside of Walmart hop in a car today to go a half a mile or a mile. A lot of us live, work, and play within a pretty tight circle. 3 to 4 miles probably encompasses, I bet you, almost half of us. So we're really working together with the city to facilitate healthier choices, to connect to nature in ways that are proven through research to help us think better, to help increase the vibrancy of our lives, to move our bodies. That's proven to be very good for us. So it's the new home office is really about facilitating healthy choices, creating an environment for associates to thrive, and then in my role, increasing the way people move their bodies to, from, and across the new campus.
How do you change human behavior? Is it like starting a business? How do you make people make those adjustments?
Well, I haven't done it yet. That's why I've been hired. I would say you make it fun, you make it accessible. You go back to Women of Oz. What are the barriers and how to break those down? So access to bikes, safe routes, what to wear, building something that people want to be a part of. And I think there's probably something there with how you move your body and how you can associate with different types of alternate commuting that are really fun, that build kind of these micro cultures that people want to identify with, and that they find themselves saying, oh yeah, I'm a bike rider, I'm a mountain bike rider, or I'm a one-wheeler, or I'm a carpooler, or whatever you're doing and why ever you're doing it, there's really a lot of benefit. You're lowering your carbon footprint. Universally, that's a good idea. It's good for the entire world. You're decongesting the roadways. That's good for our community. You're burning calories. You're igniting your senses. That's good for my single human body. So why wouldn't you want to do something that's good for you, your community, and the world at large?
I want to scoop about the new home office. We see it. We see it going up. What's the inside track? What can you tell us about? You're cycling to work. Is there a place to shower and get dressed for the day? Like, what can people expect that experience to be like?
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to mobility, I'm your gal, right? The other departments, you'll have to ask them. But when it comes to mobility, yes, one of the barriers is what to wear to work. So we will create and curate and offer and show what you wear, how to do this, what type of bike you should look at, what you should wear, what's acceptable. And from the top down at Walmart, you're seeing this active lifestyle and a focus on alternate commuting and just living in a way that it has good impact from locally all the way up to the world. You'll have showers and lockers and bike parking in all of the quadrants in the neighborhoods, the campus. You'll have premium bike parking. If you ride your bike to work, you'll be able to get where you want to go faster. Once you're there for the day, you'll have access to get across this 350 acres in a multimodal way of choice. That could be e-bikes, scooters, one-wheels, longboards, tennis shoes, perhaps shuttles. So really, all options are on the table, Dana. It's going to be so much fun for associates, to both current and future, to want to work here in this 350-acre campus. It's just going to be awesome.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.
That's it for us.
That is our entire show. We got to give Matt Coburn a big shout out here at Art on the Square. Again, if you've never been to Art on the Square, 17 different artists. It's all original, local art right here. Hundreds of pieces of art. You got to check it out right here on the downtown Bentonville
If
Square.
you need to decorate your walls, this is the place to go.
Rumor has it that your husband has a piece of Matt's art in your house.
3 of them.
3 of them.
Yep, it's beautiful, very colorful.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Downtown Now. We'll see you, what do you say, next Sunday?
Let's try next Sunday.
Let's do it.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.